Something genuinely extraordinary is unfolding across Japan right now, and the music industry hasn't fully processed what it means yet. One of the most culturally fortified, institutionally protective, and notoriously selective music markets operating anywhere on the entire planet is beginning to direct its serious, undivided attention toward a collective that didn't emerge from Korea, didn't develop within Japan's own domestic system, and didn't arrive with Western corporate infrastructure supporting every move. They arrived from the Philippines, and that collective is SB19. From landmark publication recognition that shocked industry observers, to a rapidly expanding Japanese supporter community forming organically across social platforms, to their most recent and perhaps most significant milestone, a commanding live appearance at one of Japan's most prestigious and competitive music showcases. Their performance at the D1K Showcase, a platform that has welcomed some of the most significant names operating throughout Asian music, wasn't simply another international appearance added to an impressive touring resume. When SB19 commanded that stage, something shifted in the atmosphere. Because Japan didn't simply observe what unfolded, Japan genuinely paid attention. And that distinction between passive observation and active institutional attention represents everything in a market as selective as this one. So the question now carrying the most weight is this: is SB19 positioned to become the first P-pop collective to achieve genuine, sustainable, long-term penetration into Japanese music industry? Kindly like, share, and subscribe to SB19 Beatzone as we break down every layer of why Japan is falling for SB19 and why this moment may represent only the opening chapter of something considerably larger. Chapter 1. Why Japan represents the ultimate music industry challenge. Before examining SB19's remarkable Japanese trajectory, absorbing a foundational truth about this specific market is absolutely essential. Japan doesn't welcome foreign artists easily, not even close. It operates as the second largest music revenue-generating territory on the entire planet. But unlike virtually every other significant market where international music regularly dominates consumption charts, Japan maintains fierce cultural prioritization of domestic artistry above all imported alternatives. International acts don't simply arrive and establish themselves. The process demands Japanese-language promotional campaigns, territory-specific releases, carefully cultivated local collaborative relationships, and years of consistent, dedicated community development before meaningful traction materializes. BTS dedicated years of sustained, disciplined effort to cultivating Japanese audiences before achieving the massive arena-filling success they eventually commanded throughout the country. Twice followed a structurally identical pathway, building patiently and consistently before their Japanese following reached critical momentum. So when a Filipino collective begins appearing across Japanese media and receiving invitations to perform at major Japanese showcase events, that's not an ordinary development. That's a signal that something genuinely unusual is occurring beneath the surface. Chapter 2. The InRock breakthrough that changed everything. The clearest and most institutionally significant early signal of SB19's Japanese recognition arrived through a publication carrying decades of earned authority throughout Japan's international music landscape. InRock, a magazine celebrated throughout Japan for introducing its audiences to the most significant international artists shaping global music culture, directed its editorial attention toward SB19. And when the full scope of that attention became clear, even seasoned industry observers needed a moment to process it. SB19 didn't appear once within InRock's pages. They appeared 5 completely separate times. 5 distinct features within one of Japan's most respected and selectively editorial international music publications for a collective originating from the Philippines. This wasn't casual curiosity being expressed through brief mentions. Japanese media was studying SB19 with genuine analytical seriousness, highlighting their significance to their readership and actively introducing them to Japanese audiences who hadn't yet encountered their music. But media recognition, however significant, represents only one dimension of what genuine Japanese market penetration requires. Because in Japan, the stage is ultimately where everything gets decided. Chapter 3. the moment SB19 stepped onto a Japanese stage. Then arrived the moment that made supporters worldwide genuinely realize the scale of what was unfolding. SB19 performed at the D1K Showcase, one of Japan's highest-profile competitive music events, featuring major Asian acts performing before audiences that evaluate live artistry with extraordinary critical seriousness. This wasn't a casual promotional appearance or a fan appreciation concert designed for already converted supporters. This was a demanding stage, positioned before a Japanese audience whose respect must be earned through authentic, demonstrated excellence rather than manufactured excitement. And when SB19 stepped into that performance space, they delivered precisely what they always deliver regardless of the stakes surrounding them. They performed as though everything depended on this single moment, because in many ways, it genuinely did. Pablo, Josh, Stell, Ken, and Justin collectively unleashed the full force of their performance arsenal. Precision choreography executed without compromise, live vocal delivery that needed no post-production safety nets, and the kind of explosive stage energy that communicates across every language and cultural boundary simultaneously. For significant portions of that Japanese audience, this represented their first direct encounter with SB19's live artistry. And the resulting transformation followed a pattern that anyone who has witnessed SB19's live impact before could have predicted. Curiosity evolved into genuine attention. Attention deepened into authentic interest. Interest began its inevitable conversion into devoted fandom. Because in Japan, perhaps nowhere else on Earth, performance quality speaks with greater persuasive authority than any promotional campaign ever assembled. Chapter 4. Why SB19's performance identity resonates in Japan specifically. Japanese audiences maintain extraordinarily elevated standards for live performance quality. They deeply honor artists who demonstrate visible discipline, technical precision, and genuine emotional narrative woven throughout every aspect of their stage presence. And this is precisely with perfect alignment where SB19 operates at their most distinctively powerful. Their complete performance identity fuses technically demanding, high-precision choreography with authentic live vocal delivery and emotional intensity that audiences absorb at a visceral level before conscious evaluation even begins. This combination positions them as something Japanese audiences rarely encounter from international acts. Not an idol group optimized for visual spectacle, but complete performance artists whose craft communicates genuine depth. That distinction matters enormously within Japanese cultural framework. Performers who earn respect as complete artists develop the kind of sustained long-term audience loyalty that no marketing investment can replicate or accelerate. Chapters 5 through 7, the growing community and what comes next. Something genuinely significant has been developing quietly across Japanese platforms. Japanese supporters are discovering SB19 in continuously growing numbers. Reaction content, choreography recreations, translated lyric analyses, fan community discussion threads across multiple platforms simultaneously. This pattern is deeply familiar to anyone who's studied how major international artists establish themselves within Japanese territory. First, a small but extraordinarily passionate founding community emerges. Then media attention intensifies in response to that visible enthusiasm. Then live performance demand begins building toward a critical threshold. SB19 appears to be navigating this exact developmental sequence right now. And the broader significance extends far beyond SB19 as individuals. P-pop is entering the global conversation with genuine momentum, and SB19 is leading that entry with every performance, every feature, every community connection being formed across Japanese platforms. If their Japanese momentum continues building on its current trajectory, the possibilities become genuinely transformative. Japanese language releases, major domestic collaborations, headline touring, expanded festival appearances. SB19 has never pursued the conventional pathway toward global recognition. They began as underdogs carrying enormous conviction. They constructed their reputation through demonstrated excellence and unwavering persistence. And step by calculated step, they have captured the attention of markets that most artists spend entire careers attempting to penetrate. Japan is watching. And if this momentum continues, SB19 won't simply enter Japan's music landscape. They will become one of its most compelling and historically significant international success narratives. Subscribe to SB19 Beatzone because what we're witnessing right now may genuinely be only the beginning.